What's going on, Assassins? It's Darkstrider, and tomorrow, February 17th, we're going to be receiving Title Update 1.18 for Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's coming at 1400 UTC, 9 a.m. Eastern, and 6 a.m. PST. Now, I'll explain a couple of things to you. For me, this is kind of underwhelming, but let's roll with it. Let's see what your thoughts are. So as far as the patch sizes go, for Xbox it's going to be 15.77, PS5 1.73, Nintendo Switch 2 2.91, PC 13.24, Steam 2.2, and Mac 9 gig. So one of the highlights are going to be the manual jump. They're saying this is a fan favorite feature for parkour. With the advanced parkour gameplay option enabled, use the up button. It allows Noe and Yasuke to jump at any time, which, you know, rather than having to push buttons and wait for them to jump, they'll just jump whenever, as long as you do that. There's going to be detailed stat sheets. When you go and take a look at your gear and whatnot, you'll be able to see more in-depth information on your loadouts. The gear with the detailed status sheet will show not just your inventory, but like a more in-depth kind of explanation of everything you've got attached with your current gear, so that way you know exactly what's going on. You're going to go to the inventory menu. You're going to either click on the right analog stick on your controller or tab on mouse and keyboard, and you're going to see how all your gear, perks, and loadouts work together in great detail. So builds are going to be pretty wild with that kind of improvement. Next, critical hits, visual improvements. They've significantly increased the visual feedback on enemies' health bars when a critical hit lands. I guess it allows you to get a much better feel for how lethal your builds are as you're running around doing them. There's also a new entry point for your Animus menu. In the hideout, you're going to find an Animus glitch, and it is there that you can access your Animus. All the information that is, you're not going to be able to escape the Animus because they don't have any proper present day. As far as bug fixes and improvements, they're fixing stability issues. They fix crashing issues when you start a new game plus on a platform where Claws of Awaji is not owned, using a save file that had already progressed through the Awaji storyline. Gameplay, XP earned from contracts will no longer be reduced when the season changes, which really was kind of like a problem. If you were unable to complete your contract, they ended up lowering the XP. As far as the world goes, seasons no longer transition when swapping characters. I guess you're going to have to actually teleport or force it to transition. They fixed an issue preventing NPCs from appearing in the hideout. They messed with some collision with the eagle at viewpoints. They'll no longer be able to prevent the interaction to synchronize. Sometimes if the bird was up there, you were unable to sync. You had a problem. Weapons and perks, they fixed an issue where the sickle and the naginata were granted double critical damage, of course, because it benefited the player. Perks that would throw smoke bombs will now reflect that while in expert or nightmare difficulties. Oh, that's kind of cool. That makes it like a little bit more difficult while you're playing with your smoke bombs there. They address an issue where perk affliction buildup would visually impact items that were not equipped. Perks will consistently work on afflicted enemies. They fixed trigger affliction on deflect engraving not working as stated. Poison damage perks will no longer increase fire affliction damage. They fixed an issue where the 50% critical chance, while undamaged in combat perk incorrectly only gave 5% for the Moonlight Crescent rolls. They corrected an issue where the plus 5% damage reduction per enemy in combat perk was not functional. I noticed that. I noticed that it really didn't work the way it should have. They corrected an issue where the plus 6% affliction buildup with tools perk was not functional. The assassin mastery perk now gives the correct amount of adrenaline on assassinations. They addressed an issue where the 10% damage per 10% health missing perk granted extra damage while health was full. The Hawkeye perk for the Tenjutsu Burst Teppo will no longer increase all damage for 50%, and instead only the Teppos. They fixed an issue where the following perks increase damage in unintended ways and would not affect armor damage. The Misfire perk, plus 15 damage, but 15% chance to misfire for the Bad News Teppo. Damage against a single enemy, 35% damage while facing a single enemy for the Eye of the Dragon Katana and the Claw of the Dragon Long Katana. Stack damage after block, stack plus 10% damage on next hit with each block for Sage's Reach Naginata. Damage while surrounded, plus 35% damage when surrounded by 2 or more enemies for the the Chain and Sickle. Damage on time hit, 15% damage on next hit when pressing light or heavy attack button on hit for the Flying Leaf Katana. Celestial Hunger, 100% damage but removes all rations for the Moon Eater Blade Katana. The Mystic Reach, Far Reach, increases posture damage by 15% and stacks up to 3 times for the Foxtail. Damage for unused ability slots, plus 10% damage per unused ability slot for the Amaterasu's Blessing. Damage for empty armor pieces, plus 50% damage per empty armor piece for the Minogami's Protection. Damage for non-legendary gear, plus 15% damage per non-legendary or non-artifact gear equipped for the Ani's Fury. Damage for alerted provinces, plus 10% damage per alerted province for the Fujin's Tempest. As far as UI goes, they fixed an issue where Yasuke's Teppo Mastery armor damage increase was incorrect. They fixed an issue where text was missing at the Forge for Fire and Frost perks. This spread 25% affliction buildup on afflicted enemy kill perk now specifies the buildup amount for the No Masterstroke costume. The Artist Tier Tanto perk now correctly mentions the bonus is lost upon being hit. The time-honored Crescent Naginata perk now mentions the first strike is a postured attack. They corrected the description of the Dark Encryption Kenobo's perk to 75%. Fixed an issue where 15% chance to gain a valuable or kill perk was wrongly categorized by the Forge. Corrected the description of the damage on horseback perk for the Falling Leaf Teppo. They corrected the description of the range damage out of combat perk for the Master Archer outfit. Now, on Xbox, they fixed an issue where when using or resetting a skill, the knowledge points in the skill tree, they fixed that. And then, of course, a bunch of quests they fixed. They're constantly fixing quests. And it looks like the same quests that they're always fixing. There's a complete list of these things. You'll see them tomorrow. And you'll also see them if you go on Twitter or anything like that. Anyway, like I said before, it seems kind of underwhelming, at least to me. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know what your favorite is, what you're hoping for, what you're hoping to see. Anyway, that's all I've got for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps this channel out an awful lot. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And until next time, take care, be good, stay safe, take care of each other. I'll see you guys all in the next one.
Yar yee!